And we are back at it again. Hello to all my BC Wrestle Pod nerds out there. And it's been a hot minute, but welcome back to the All Elite Ensemble review, your weekly AEW post show here at BC Wrestle Pod. I am back from the wilds of Idlewild from camping, and I am refreshed and somehow my social battery is both filled and drained at the same time. But I'm excited to be back here. And of course, I can't do the show alone. Once again, I am here with mi compadre. 1 year anniversary since he joined us from y'all in Texas not too long ago and looking dapper in that outfit right there. My friend, Mr. Benny DeBear, also known as Bear Dito. I do really like the outfit. It looks very, very sharp, my friend.
Thank you very much. Glad you're back from the wild. Let's rock and roll. I had something lined up, but my brain was like, nope.
My brain does not compute. Oh, man. But I'm not going to waste too much time. We have a lot to cover. Tonight, we are going to be covering last week's edition of Dynamite and Collision, specifically the Wednesday, July 15th edition of Dynamite and the Saturday, July 18th edition of Collision. And then we are going to wrap things up because it is that time. We are back at it again. It just seemed only like yesterday we got through Forbidden Door, but the next AEW pay-per-view is upon us, and we will be doing our predictions for what we have so far for Redemption, which is happening this Sunday. I cannot wait. But let's just jump straight into the action because we got a lot to talk about. A very interesting week for AEW for sure. Dynamite felt very condensed in the sense that we didn't really have a lot on the card, but it felt that we were moving stuff forward. And then Collision was just like, here's like 10,000 matches. Have at it. I'm like, which don't get me wrong. I love me some good craps. But we could have trimmed some of it down, but we'll get to Collision. It was just like, it was insane. But let's just get into it. So let's start with Dynamite, as we always do here. And we had a pretty fun Dynamite to talk about. So we're going to talk about this that kicked us off, though, because let me see. There we go. I'm really digging these like promos, these vignettes between Moxley and Ospreay, because Ospreay is slowly what I really love about this is that Ospreay is kind of coming back to, well, at least when I was first introduced to him, which is an absolute killing machine and a little shite. And so it's really interesting to see Moxley kind of guide Ospreay. And here in this vignette, he tells him, it's like, I'm really happy that you got the shot, but I want you to know when you get this shot, you need to pull the trigger and you need to do what needs to be done in order to get what you want in business. And I'm like, ooh, Moxley, here we go, man. Ospreay is turning to the dark side, and I loved it.
Or is he?
Or is
you know? Oh man, I agree. These promos have been getting greater and better and better. You know, much to the chagrin of the IWC. Like I actually like this stuff, man. Like I'm digging it. You know? Clearly, in this promo, Mox had said something about like never take your eyes off target. Right? And Mox is always the one to tell you exactly what he's about to do in a riddle. So it's gonna get interesting from here on out.
It really is. And we're definitely going to see it, especially when we talk about the things that happen on Collision too, because the evolution of Will Ospreay leading into his match against Kenny Omega at Wembley is going to be a fun journey. And yeah, Ospreay is kind of slowly coming back to what I was introduced back to him when I first laid my eyes upon Ospreay not too long ago. So this is going to be fun. But with this opening vignette out of the way, we continue proper into our first official match that kicked off the show, which was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Now, Tony Khan, Anthony Khan, I love you. I truly, truly do. Um, I was just like, this was announced like an hour before the show. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not mad at it, but I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But we have our tag champs, Cage and Cope, taking on the Death Riders in the form of Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. Uh, is it really bad to say I kind of enjoyed this a little bit more than I did this title defense a little bit more than I did with their title defense at Forbidden Door a couple weeks ago? I don't know. Um, And I think that's and no shade against the dogs because I love Clark Connors and I love Dave Finley, but it's Wheeler and Garcia. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I was like, this is actually pretty fun. This is a pretty good television title defense. I will. That is my positive.
So, story time. I was in the building for this show,
Yeah,
and you know, I got to sing Edge out to the ring, Cope out to the ring, which was absolutely fantastic. I feel bad for the people in front of me because I was really off key. Uh, but you know, uh, funny story. I'll get to in a second with the Young Bucks at the end of this. But like, I really thought this was a shining moment for the younger Death Riders here. Like you, the crowd was on Yuta from the jump. Like as soon as that bell rang, it was "F you Yuta" chants, and then Danny gets in, and he and Cage have like a little back and forth, and then Cage does the dance with the, with the fingers. Oh man, this was absolutely perfect, dude. Like, uh, and uh, Christian Cage really has found this like beautiful, like he's not doing much, right? Like he's found this beautiful mix of like he's doing all character stuff, right? So he doesn't have to do as much, you know. And it really was really weird though, because as soon as like Yuta and Garcia started getting over on Cage, like it, Cage is like walking this line of like he's a heel, but like he's also getting the heat and the or you know getting beat down in the tag matches. So feed to Edge for the hot tag. This was a very sports entertaining match, is what I'm trying to say. This is a very sports entertaining match.
it most definitely was. And I think that having the younger Death Riders be in this position to have this match is really, really solid and a lot of fun as well. And, it continues to set things up. So, Cage and Cope do retain the championship, so which makes a lot of sense given the fact that Redemption is going to be in Canada. So we are heading up north this Sunday. Cage and Cope are both from Canada. But there was a whole entire brawl that happens afterwards because then we have the dogs, and then we have the Death Riders, and then we got people coming out to save. Now, they announced it a little bit later in the show, and then spoiler alert, we got a promo from Cage and Cope to kind of confirm it on Collision. But because the Death Riders continue to stick their nose into Cage and Cope's business at Redemption, we find out that they will be defending the titles on the line again against the Death Riders, but now they anteed up the stakes because now they're taking on a little bit more of the seasoned members. So they will be taking on Claudio Castagnoli and the Busted Pac at Redemption. So I'm like, this is gonna be good. Claudio just wants to hit people, and
Yeah,
I'm here
it
for
was like
that.
a net. Exactly. He's just Claudio's just gonna beat the crap out of people, and Pac is just gonna be a bastard. Um, maybe we have a bastard off between Christian and Pac here. Um, it's funny. Like at the end of this, like the Young Bucks were at the end of the match. The Young Bucks were like up in the stands, right? And like I was like focused on Edge and Christian. No idea that the Young Bucks were there. No idea. But this match is going to be super fun, man. I'm looking forward to this one. Also, why isn't Pac and Claudio a tag team more often?
Seriously.
That's a hell of a tag team.
That is a dangerous combination of people too. And honestly, I would be like, down, let's do it. No, but I'm looking forward to this. We will discuss, the ramifications and what we initially think of who's walking out as champions when we do our predictions a little bit later for Redemption. But let us keep going. So after that opening match, we get into a backstage segment where Andrade is my new favorite person right now. And I quoted him all throughout camping last week. And I have turned it into an inside joke with me and a couple other people with, of course, how you know. I don't care what nobody says. Andrade is having a lot of fun with this. Of course, just to summarize what happened, Andrade is in possession of MJF's diamond ring. Renee asks, Andrade says he got it from a good friend. And Renee says, be like, would that friend happen to be Will Ospreay? And then, of course, Andrade with the t-shirt with the quote on it and his catchphrase now, how you know. And also talks about he's got this match with Jake Doyle. If he wins, he gets a shot at Mark Davis at the national championship at Redemption. This is the funnest I have ever seen Andrade since I was introduced to him way back in the black and gold era of NXT when he was there. This, in my personal and professional opinion, this is the most fun I have seen Andrade have, and I'm really, on a personal note, I'm really happy to see him have like a blast with what he's doing right now.
Definitely. It's so obvious that he's having a blast, and it comes through. And I love the catchphrase, and Renee, she's so fantastic. She's just so fantastic. Like earlier in the night, like just a minute ago, when Cage and Coper on the way out to the ring, she was ringside, and she was like, I tried to get a word with Christian Cage, but you can imagine how that went.
She just like, y'all already know how. She literally breaks the fourth wall. She's like, America, you knew what this was.
Yeah. So fantastic, man. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, Renee's great. I love Andrade. And again, Andrade has this ring. Don't know if it's going to come into play in the future storylines, but I love that he's in possession of this ring and just like another middle finger to MJF, a symbolic middle finger to MJF, and we love it. Well, after this interview segment backstage between Renee and Andrade, the conglomeration get jumped, y'all. Like the conglomeration get jumped. And Renee's just watching them get jumped by both the Demand and Lethal Twist. I'm like, oh boy, multi-person factions. It's getting crazy. And then when we get to Collision, I was just like, the Avengers have assembled, y'all. This is insane. But yeah, the conglomeration got jumped. It is a 6-on-3, and I was just like, damn.
Yeah, I'm actually sort of digging the Lethal Demand or whatever they're calling themselves. Like, I'm really here for a good mid card feud between all of them, because I'm glad that Blake Christian and Lee Johnson are here. And the more I get to see of Jay Lethal, I'm happy. And the more I get to see of a happy Jay Lethal, I'm happy.
I agree. Also, I'm glad that this is also giving the conglomeration a new feud that is not the Don Callis family.
Yeah. Well, most
most of them. Um, again, we're when we get to Collision, we're going to talk about how I feel like we're entering Avengers Endgame territory, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So again, Lethal Demand, Jump Conglomeration. We might be getting a trios championship match coming down the line, figuring it out. Conglomeration might get some help. Who knows? But love new stuff. And you know what? I agree with you. Lethal Demand on my screen. I'm not going to complain because I love everybody that's a part of it. And the Conglomeration boys. We love it. Also, I need to get those yearbook photo shirts just for me because they are hilarious. And I want one of Roddy because it is fun.
The Willow one is great.
Oh my gosh.
She has like her eyes closed.
Yes, I love Willow. By the way, AEW, I don't know if you listened to me, but you finally got it together. They entered the world of plushies because now they're selling a Willow unicorn plushie. I'm like, I'm not usually a stuffy person like that, but I will buy a Willow unicorn immediately.
Yeah, definitely.
Love to see, most definitely. Anyway, so after we watch people get jumped for their lunch money, we get into this banger of a match. Oh my God, Jake Doyle, you are a monster. I am so happy to see him back. But we get Andrade El Idolo taking on Jake Doyle. And again, like I said earlier, if Andrade wins this match, he would go on to Redemption and get a shot at Mark Davis's AEW National Championship. This was fun. I had a good time. Jake Doyle just works perfectly as somebody who's going to throw you around the ring. And like I said, Andrade is having fun. And you can tell not only in his promos, but in his in-ring action too. He just moves with a certain fervor and he's enjoying what he is doing. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, this is great. This is like a good TV match, right? And I think that's what we need out of Doyle right now. Is he's been gone for so long because he was like there for a second, and then the injury happened, and then like now he's coming back. And I like the fact they're still teaming him up with Davis. So like we're not done there yet, and this is a fun little team match. I don't like the addition of the women and the entrance a bit much.
I was gonna say, I was like, that was a little weird. I like it better with. I'm gonna say this, and I mean this with respect. I like it better with what Andrade has been doing, where he'll randomly go take a selfie with these people in the audience instead of having them be a part of this entrance. I'm like, oh, that's new. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that, but all right.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but like, you know, the selfie I can deal with because it's funny. It's a funny gimmick, you know, and it's a plant. And this time it was Ava Everett who is the one that took on Athena on Collision. But yeah, like that's a little bit much. That's my only complaint about this match because it really was it was like what 7 minutes, 8 minutes. You know, like there's not much to complain about here. You know.
No, I agree. And this match served its purpose. It got, the stipulation was if Andrade wins, he would get a chance to fight Mark Davis for the national championship at Redemption. And the 7 to 8 minutes served its purpose. So Andrade wins. Therefore, we get the match officially set that at Redemption this Sunday, Mark Davis versus Andrade El Idolo for the AEW National Championship. And I gotta say, I'm kind of looking forward to this match. I'm actually really excited. I think Andrade is. I love Andrade. I do, and I think he's an excellent wrestler. But again, Mark Davis, since becoming the Dunkzilla version of himself in AEW, has probably been the best thing for him, and I'm looking forward to this because he's just so great too. Both of them are good, so this should be a solid match. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll talk more about it when we do predictions. I love it. Also, love this picture of Andrade. I was like, yes, fashion icon. Let's go. Anywho, we move on though because we still got a lot of Dynamite to talk about. Uh, Young Bucks, I'm just gonna put this out there just as a sidebar, and then we'll get into like this 30 minute segment because this was long, y'all. I couldn't even imagine how it felt for you, Betty, being there live, but watching it at home, I'm like, damn, this is a long segment. I was like, damn. First of all, Bucks, you ain't slick. I see those New Day colors, and if it is true that we are getting Kofi and Xavier coming to AEW soon, I was like, I see you. Um, First of all, foremost, let's just break everything down, and then I'm gonna talk about the things I liked, and then some of my critiques. So, of course, the Bucks are out there. They introduce Kenny. Kenny comes out. There's the Omega sign that has a collage of all the pictures of Kenny and AEW and some personal pictures from behind the scenes, which was a lot of fun. Kenny talks, retires or gets rid of the Triple B, and we get the original AEW World Championship back. So that's a lot of fun. Kenny talks a little bit about how happy he is to become champion. Will Ospreay comes out and they have a back and forth building up Wembley. Kevin Knight comes out and interrupts. We're playing this thing where Kevin Knight is with the Don Callis family. And you know what? I have to give it to Kenny because with Kevin Knight being a heel, I was expecting Kenny to be babyface. He's like, you shouldn't be with the Don Callis family. They're going to stab you in the back. But what I loved is that Kenny pulled from his own experience with Don, and he's like, Kevin, I have my issues with Don, but honestly, I understand why you would be with him. I mean, I did the same thing. And despite my issues, I got really far with it too. I was like, yes, Kenny playing kind of devil's advocate. Love that. Um, and I love it. So Kevin is also out here because he was promised championship match from MJF, and he's here to collect. Now MJF is no longer champion, but he wants this championship match nonetheless, so he can become Kevin Two Belts. And Kenny agrees, and it's officially made. At Redemption is going to be Kevin Knight versus Kenneth Omega. So I really did like that this segment did three things for me. One, we got the celebration where we were reminded that this is only Kenny's second world championship reign as AEW world champion. And it's been 1,200 and some odd days since he held this championship. I'm like, hot damn, I forgot it's been that long because, Kenny's been injured and diverticulitis. And yeah, it's been forever. So I'm like, this is only his second reign. Why do I had to fact check myself, Betty, because I was like, no, that can't be true. And I'm like, hot damn, it's only his second title reign as world champion. That's insane. So I really like that. I really like that even though it's not until the end of August, we are still continuing to build Ospreay versus Omega at Wembley. So that was good. And honestly, I really love this for Kevin Knight. This kid is being put in some really great situations, and he gets to face Kenny Omega, which is, I'm assuming this match is going to main event the pay-per-view. So I'm really looking forward to that. My only issue with this is this went on way too long. This was a long segment, and I know we had to get through a lot of it, but damn, it was a long segment.
Yeah. To be honest with you, this was the segment that like sold me on going because I was just like, well, it's a championship celebration for Kenneth Jerome Omega. So I have to go, And I agree with you. It hit all the points, right? Like you get Will Ospreay out there talking about the putting over Omega, and you're talking about Wembley, which is sort of weird because they're already like looking past Night. Like, what are we doing? Like, but and then Night comes out, right? One thing I like about Kevin Knight and Kenny Omega is that like they talk like regular people. They don't talk like wrestlers. They're not over the top. They're not catchphrase heavy. They talk like regular people. And I love the slip up by Kenny by calling MJF Maxim. Like, I swear to God, he caught himself once and just kept rolling with it. I swear.
I love it when wrestlers like mess up and then they just roll with it. I was like, yes, I love it. And but to your point though, I you know what? That is a good way to describe Kenny and Knight's conversation, their promos with each other during the segment too. It felt really grounded. And sometimes when it comes to wrestling, for me personally, I just want people to just be real when they talk. Like, we don't need to be this is not a sometimes I want a superhero movie moment. I want you to be over the top and
Yeah,
dramatic AF. But also, that we got to balance that out and just keep it grounded and real, because then you make me invested. And that kind of leads into my point. I don't want to spend too much time on the negativity, but I have beef with the IWC. But then again, when don't I have beef with
let's
the
go.
IWC? Because as soon as this match was announced and we got the official graphic, I saw a lot of people come from, well, I saw a lot of people come for, well, I mean, they come for AEW in general, and they don't want to see AEW succeed. But they're like, this is your championship match for redemption. You could have had multiple other people, but you're going to put Kevin Knight in this position. I'm like, why the flip not? I was just like, let's have this real conversation real quick, y'all. I was like, why don't we like Kevin Knight in this position? Is it because he's not a big of a star yet? He just got here. People are saying that, oh, Tony Khan is playing favorites. So it's just like, but Kevin Knight has been wrestling forever, and made he's made a name for himself on the independents, and he put himself in some crazy and amazing matches with his tenure in New Japan too. So why the hell not? Y'all complain that companies never give young wrestlers a shot at these big major titles, and then when they do, y'all want to complain. But let's talk about this real conversation, but not really, because we'll be here all night. I was like, is it because he's black, y'all? Is that why we're hating? Because I've also seen some really crazy takes. So I was like, is it because he's black? I'm just putting it out
Yeah,
there. I was like,
yeah,
let's be so for real. I was like, just be honest with me. You don't like it because he black. I'm just putting it out there.
yeah.
And it's
That's
crazy.
that's what it boils down to. Uh, Honestly, it's just racism. But like, which sucks because when you think about it, right? Like, the TNT champion facing the heavyweight champion, right? Rising tides lift all ships. So like, whoever takes that belt off of Kevin Knight now also gets lifted up a little bit. You know, like, come on, like, what are we doing? Like, wrestling's not that hard. And also, uh, quit being a bigot. Quit being a
Mm-hmm.
bigot.
Like, the where's my grandma? And the door is over there. Like, you can see yourself out. And people are like, what has Kevin Knight done to deserve this? I was like, I will tell you what Kevin Knight has done. In the history of the TNT Championship, Kevin Knight has had the most successful title defenses as TNT champion. So already he's holding a really great achievement. He's had the most successful title defenses as TNT champion by defending the Sting 7 times already since winning it. So I'm just like, y'all are being a bunch of haters. And honestly, I love this match. I don't think Knight is going to win, but this is a really good litmus test for him, because this is a big primetime opportunity. And I'm only assuming this match is going to main event redemption. But putting Kevin Knight in this main event title picture, I'm like, why the hell not? He has earned it in the 7 months that he has been here. And honestly, Kevin Knight's gonna have a great week. Him and Darby are fighting it out this tomorrow night for the TNT Championship, and then on Sunday, he's got Kenny Omega. And again, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but Speedball Mike Bailey is also still orbiting around Kevin Knight. So Kevin is in a great position. I need y'all to calm the fuck down. Like, excuse my French, but I'm like, damn, y'all. You're right, Benny. It's not this hard. I don't know why people make it hard, but that is my TED talk. We could be here all night, honestly. So don't be racist. And I'm looking forward to this match. So bite me. Anyways, moving on. Um, we Brodito got a tune-up match, and I was like, damn, Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado. Love you boys, but Yeah.
This was the start of like a 3-segment scene with Kyle Fletcher and Bandito, sort of like. And
It was hilarious.
first off, we got some really good chants out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great seeing Brodito, my namesake, I guess. I totally didn't steal it from them, but whatever. It's always great to see them together. You know, there probably is no better organic babyface in wrestling right now than Bandito.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which leads me to the point of, if he loses at Redemption, can we just stop putting him on pay per view, please? Just stop
I
putting him on
know.
pay per view.
It's just like
Stop playing with my heart. You know.
be like it's tearing up my heart. I'm just like, Bandito needs a win. He doesn't. Well, he should be winning because again, Bandito's one of those pure like baby faces everyone cheers for, and I'm just like, we want good things for our Bandito boy. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Brodito gets the win, but you're absolutely right. We get a we get a 3-part segment in the span of like 15 minutes on the show that goes across both in the ring and backstage, other things, which is hilarious, which we'll talk about as we go on with all of this. But I 100% agree, Brodito with the win. Then, of course, well, okay, before we talk about this match, though, because backstage, Renee is with Kyle Fletcher and Okada and talks about, and Kyle Fletcher is being interviewed. Brodito interrupts that interview by giving, Kyle Fletcher wanted posters of Bandito, which then prompts, Kyle Fletcher's entrance to come out for this match. And yes, have we seen this match like 18,000 times already? Yes. Am I tired of it? Hell no. Because Kyle Fletcher and Commander have one of those chemistries that is forever. Just give me like 18,000 matches and I will never get tired of it. When you have great chemistry with somebody, you have great chemistry with somebody. And these two have great wrestling chemistry. And also, since we're slowly getting visa issues fixed, it's nice to see Commander back on AEW television like this. And him and Kyle Fletcher just made magic. I was like, ooh, this match was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I can't remember if did, did the Don Callis family come up at the end of the segment with Omega, and then Mox came out and saved them, right? Or that later on?
I think that happened during the segment. I'm gonna be real. Don Callis family has been all over the place and almost everything.
Yeah.
I was just like, the correct answer is probably.
Yeah, right. The reason I bring it up is because when they came out, I was like, "Hey, that's Cesaro!" And when this graphic came up, I was like, "Hey, Commander!" Because I like Commander a lot. He's he's come a long way from like a one-trick pony, and I mean that respectfully, of course, because the bro block thing. But funny little story. So I'm up in the third balcony in this place, right? And Commander does this top rope walk, and then does something to the outside, right? I think it was like a diving hurricanrana onto Fletcher,
Mm-hmm.
and he dove off the top rope and just right into the abyss. Like, I had no idea what he did until I got home and watched it. I had no idea. But either way, this match rules. Like, as you said, we've seen this before. We've seen it over the ROH TV title. We've seen it over the TNT title, and now for the international title. Like, they know what they got, and keep on going, man. Like, I just can't wait for that world title, that world title, so that they can complete the collection. You know.
Yeah, it is insane, and I 100% love it. Of course, Kyle Fletcher retains. You know, Commander gets beat up after the match, and then Takeshita comes out, Okada comes in, Brodito for the save. So we got a bunch of the international folks in this ring, and I was like, hell yes, this is what the international championship should be, where we're fighting people around the world too. And speaking of which, well, we'll get to it a little bit later, but because we got this segment and then we got a little bit of announcement of where Kyle Fletcher is heading towards redemption. But it seems that, Kenny's getting interviewed by Renee outside by the trucks, talking about what went down during the segment. And Darby's just like, Kenny, I'm glad you had that title back. Come Wednesday, I'm going to get my title back because I'm going to beat the bricks off of Kevin Knight and then we're good to go. And then Moxley comes in and kind of teases and kind of congratulates Kenny. I'm like, now I'm not saying that it needs to be soon, but Kenny and Moxley, I'm like, yes.
So, what's old is new again, and let's do it one more time. You know.
Run it back. Run it back.
And the fact that Darby versus Omega has never happened, I know that's not what they're talking about in this segment.
But I would
Is,
like that too.
but I would like that very much.
For reals. It's crazy to think about, like, even though, yes, 5 years may not be a lot of time, but for a new wrestling company that is not WWE to find success and prosper like this, I'm like, the fact that we have yet to get Darby and Kenny, like you said, I was like, that's crazy that we haven't gotten that in the 5 years that this company has existed. But hey, you know what? We might see it down the line and let's get 5 more, 10 more, 15 more, 30 more years. Let's go. Like, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. But anyways, moving on from this though, this is where Kyle Fletcher is tired of everybody getting his business. I also love that Okada's like, I'm here for you, Kyle. I'm gonna stab you though. That back is prime for stabbing. Like you could tell he's like, I want that my championship back, and we gonna play this long game. But Kyle Fletcher is tired of the disrespect and tired of everyone. And so he's just like, you know what? Let's just make one thing clear. For the first time at Redemption, this international championship will be defended. And he calls out, and we officially get Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito for the international championship. My God, this match is going to bang. I'm excited for this. I would love to see Bandito win. I don't know if he will win, but this match going to be good anyways.
Yeah, this match is gonna rule all the way up until all the shenanigans will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that last little bit with like Okada standing in the background uh, was like playing off that story beat of
Mm-hmm.
uh, from Fletcher's match, where like afterwards, like the whole bunch of people, of course, there's like 85,000 people on the roster anyway, so like got to get them all on TV, and
Somehow.
somehow, and like Fletcher goes to pick up the belt, and Okada tries to pick up the belts at the same time, and they look at each other, and Fletcher's like, "Let go of my belt." So I'm looking for bringing it back. I'm looking forward to this one. It's gonna rule so hard, but don't stop breaking my heart.
I know. It hurts. It really does. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. I don't put it past AEW. They have surprised and shocked me during their pay-per-views. I still feel that Fletcher may more than likely walk out still the champion, but crazier things have happened. And I don't want to say it's a consolation prize because I don't want to say it that way. I want to see Bandito with an AEW championship, or I should say a singles championship. Um, but this match is going to rule. Also, sidebar, because I don't really get to talk about this that often. I think that Tony Khan is priming Bandito to be a key pivotal part coming up in a couple of weeks. Um, because after Redemption, before we get to Wembley at the end of August, in 2 weeks, we are at Grand Slam Mexico, which I'm excited about. Grand Slam Mexico is almost here, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think Tony is priming Bandito to play an important part at Grand Slam Mexico, and CMLL has kind of already figured that out because really quickly, they announced all the participants in 2 weeks. CMLL on Friday, August 7th is the men's Grand Prix. So it's a 10-on-10 elimination style match in Mexico. And I'm looking forward to it because it's one of my favorite events of the year. They've announced all the participants. So Roddy, Pac, Orange Cassidy, they're all representing AEW in Team World. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. But the more important part in this is that the two teams, because it's Team World versus Team Mexico, Místico is the captain of Team Mexico, and CMLL announced that Bandito is the captain for Team World. So I was like, yay! Bandito is the captain for the World team, so that's going to be fun.
Sounds amazing. That sounds
exactly.
Incredible.
It is. And you can find the AEW and CMLL boys coming together in a couple of weeks too when we talk about it. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. But let's keep going because we got a lot to discuss still. So moving it back into AEW. Darbs, I mean, I always say this with the Darby match. Be like, oh, he died. I feel like he almost died again when Brian Cage threw him into the ring post from the ramp. I was like, I forgot there was a ramp. Oh no. Darby doing Darby things. I was just like, what else is new?
Yeah, you thought he died, and the crowd died in the middle of this, right? Because, it was just a Darby Allin match. Like he just gets beat up for 90% and then comes back and wins. Like wash and repeat, wash and repeat, wash and repeat. Same match every time. So,
which is, should I be tired of it? Yes. Am I? No. Do I also wish Darby would take it slow? Yes. Yes. So Darby wins by the skin of his teeth against Brian Cage. Like I said before, him and Kevin Knight are going at it tomorrow for the TNT Championship, so it should be fun. Oh my gosh, Betty, I can't believe it. A women's match main eventing a Dynamite? What world am I living in?
Good God.
Good God.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right?
And they got like 12 minutes. Holy shit, what is happening?
Right? Thank God Hyann was here.
No, for real though.
The funny thing is, right? Like, well, I guess it's not funny, because I'm actually sort of pissed, right? Because here we go. You have the CEO, Mercedes Moné, in Boston, in the main event, and we don't see her until the main event. Not a backstage promo, not a recap package. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There was a recap package at the beginning of the show. What are we doing? You're just telling us that that yes, they're in the main event, but that it doesn't really matter that much. As long as these other like 9 stories that you have going on with all the men, we got to get through those.
And
excuse my language. Fuck all the way off. Like
facts.
I paid good money to see this match, and you didn't give me hype for it at all. That's on you. That is on the booker. Sorry, I digress.
Never apologize, dude. Honestly, I would be mad too if you paid money to see this. It didn't need to be that hard. You could have done like 30-second interview spots with, Mercedes and the Divine Dominion as one team, and then Willow and Maya World and Hyann on another. Like at the beginning, like towards the beginning of the show, interview one team. Middle of the show, interview the other team, and then main event, be like, you know what, 30 seconds is all you need to set this up because we did a lot of setup last week, but they forgot about it this week. And I'm gonna be so for real. I was like, we got like 20 minutes left. What is left on this card? And then when they made their entrances, I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot this was here. I'm happy
Yeah,
this is main eventing, but damn, y'all made me forget this match was happening, and it shouldn't be that way.
exactly. And by the way, what is the connection between the CEO and the Divine Dominion?
I was like,
Why
we
are
got
they
no
together?
explanation, like nothing, like what's happening.
And also, like last week, we got like a segment between Willow and Maya World. Hyann is nowhere to be seen. Wasn't even mentioned. She just said, "My partner." What are we doing? What are we doing?
Honestly, I was just like, yeah, when Willow recruited Maya, you should have had Hyann be with Maya too. Be like, girls, I need your help. We're gonna take on Mercedes Monet and the Divine Dominion. It's gonna be tough, but I need your help. Down, let's go. Bam. That's not that hard. And I don't want to here's what I want to say. I am no way in shape or form in the professional wrestling business. I'm not a booker, I'm not a manager, I'm not a backstage person. I don't write for these companies, yada yada yada. And honestly, I don't want to say I could do a better job because with unless you're in that environment, I never want to assume because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that are happening that I am not aware of. And I don't want to assume anything because I know any job like that can be difficult, especially in the professional wrestling world. However, and this is more from the producing side of things, like my friend, like Benny said, it's not that hard. It didn't need to be like a 5-minute promo from each team. A minute, 30 seconds, pre-taped, or even live. You have both teams interviewed because that's the typical like through line when you have these big matches happening in the main event. You have party A do their thing, party B does their interview thing, and then we coalesce into the main event where all the fighting happens. Y'all made me forget this match was happening, and I'm mad because I actually thought this match was pretty fun. I had a good time. But when you don't take time to make it feel like this grandiose thing, then it makes me sad and it makes me upset. And that's not how I should be feeling about this match.
That is my thoughts exactly. My thoughts exactly. Like, why did I like? I was in the building and I forgot that this was the main event. And by the way, this was the only uh, match that had or segment that had women in it.
Mm. I don't know what's going on in the week and a half, but I got beef with a lot of my wrestling promotions that we cover right now here in the United States. I was just like, what happened, y'all? What like what's going on? Why are we featuring less and less women segments and matches? Like AEW. I know y'all overbooked the men, but come on now. It is not that hard. It's not that difficult right now. But I digress. Outside of all that, I really did like this match. I really do. And I think with all the talent involved, it was fun. However, I can't in good conscience, like, because of everything of the lack of care to the buildup to this really kind of took me out of it. And it's unfortunate. But I don't want to be completely negative because I thought all 6 of these women kind of did the damn thing and they brought it. They really did. They did their job. Backstage needed to do their job and they failed these women.
1000%. Like they definitely failed them, but they delivered as always.
Mm-hmm.
The women are
So
always given chicken shit, and they make chicken salad out of it. Good on them.
100%. Put that on a t-shirt. Anywho. But Mercedes and the Divine Dominion do pick up the victory over Willow Nightingale, Maya World, and Hyann. That is how Dynamite ends us. And let's get into Collision because we got a lot of Collision. Collision, I love you. And normally I don't have too many complaints because y'all give me good grabs. You had lots of grabs this episode, but that is where my biggest critique of this show happened. We could have cut some of these grabs, especially some of the grabs that led nowhere. That don't play into the overarching world of AEW and or Redemption. So let's just get through it. So I may or may not have cut out certain things because there was a lot that happened in Collision. So we're just gonna get through things. So let's do this. I can't believe I'm saying this. Jungle Jack Perry. was actually a pretty good match. And Nick Wayne, welcome back. I have missed you, Nicholas Wayne. I've missed you, Nick. I really have. This is actually a pretty fun opener, not gonna lie.
No, this is a really good match. I don't see the point in the first time we've seen Nick Wayne in 2 months. He doesn't have half. He has half of his act, and he loses to Jack Perry. But it was a good match. It just didn't make any sense. Like,
I was like, there's no beef. Yeah, I was like, I was like, were y'all beefing and we didn't know about this? Like, what happened?
that's what I mean. Like he just came off the BOSJ in the semifinals for the second year in a row. We don't see him for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden he comes to TV without his mother, without Kip Sabian, and loses on TV.
Ugh,
Sure,
rude.
sure,
Rude.
okay.
Rude.
But Jack Perry's a professional player.
Yeah,
I'm getting spicy Ben tonight.
Listen, I love Spicy Ben. The Spicy Benny is fun Benny because it makes good content. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like here's the thing, like trust me. Benny and I have said this on multiple occasions while we do the show, and I say me and all the other co-hosts across our shows, we say this all the time. We are spicy towards this. We're not being negative. We love this company so damn much. We want to see it succeed. And because we want to see it succeed, we will critique it when necessary. So it's because we love this company that we're going to give it some tough love sometimes, because sometimes it needs it. Like, we are an equal opportunist here at BC Wrestle Pod. We will talk about what we love, but we are also going to give some constructive criticism. But don't let that constructive criticism get misconstrued for us saying that we want this company to fail, because that is absolutely farthest thing from the truth. But also, we're going to call out some shit if it's shitty. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I lived through the horrible years of WWE. I wanted out. I wanted out. And eventually I just gave up. And then AEW came along. And here we are. So, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I don't want anything to fail. If anything, as I just said about the TNT title, rising tides lifts all ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, but you also got to take care of the ecosystem in which you in which you live in, right? Like, and like if Nick Wayne isn't is just coming back to TV after a very successful run in Japan, and then he loses to the guy who is in a tag team essentially. Like, what are we doing? Who is this for? Honestly, like, who is this for? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that question could be applied to a lot of Collision this episode. I was like, Collision, I love you downs because you give me good grabs. But this week I was just like, who is this for? I was like, what happened? I know y'all taped the same night, but damn, y'all, this is insane. Anywho. But yeah, Nick, I love you. I have missed you. You shouldn't have lost upon coming back after Bess's Junior semifinal. And Jungle Jack Perry, listen, I love you too, but didn't need Nick Wayne to lose. But I'm hoping, I love seeing Nick Wayne. I really, really do. I'm glad he's back. Moving on. Okay, but this match though. I loved it too, but again, I was just like, why is AR Fox losing again? I'm just like, what? But damn, I actually did like this match.
Yeah, this one was really fun. Like, as soon as it popped up, I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be an innovative match. And boy was it. Like, both these guys have been around the horn doing their damn thing for a long ass time. So it's really great to see them on national TV getting to be able to do it.
I agree with you here. Also, I really love that AR Fox is actually getting, the dues that he deserves. I know the running joke here is that since the mishap with him not being able to fly over to Wembley to participate in that one match, he was like, he kind of got the short end of the stick afterwards. But Tony Khan Tony Khan still saw a lot in AR Fox because even though it was short lived, AR was ROH television champion, and he always impresses the hell out of me every time he is on ROH or AEW television. This match was no exception. Kevin Knight wins. Great match. Kevin Knight gets on commentary because then, of course, again, there was a lot of bleeding segments and matches because like everything bled into each other for a good chunk of this episode. Oh, by the way, we should also point out that we had Paul White on commentary this episode too. I was just like, okay. I was like, I don't know how. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna lie, Paul White. I feel like there's some stuff you need to work on. Didn't hate you, but then again, the bar is not that high because I cannot stand Taz on commentary.
Okay, for somebody who was in the building for this
Oh,
for Wednesday, right? Like
mm-hmm.
this one was taped Thursday, so
Got it.
like when uh, but they gotta do something. They gotta switch it up, dude. Like the commentary is getting so bad. Like no offense, it's just my preference, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Paul White was talking about himself during this match.
I
Like
was like, dude,
dude, you can't wrestle. Like, why are you talking about yourself? And then like we got Spicy Taz over on Dynamite. I don't know who put bees in his bonnet on Wednesday, but
Taz was
Jesus.
on one on Dynamite. I was like, what? I was like, Taz, you're usually out of pocket anyways. But I was like, what happened? I also
I
feel
was like,
like I was like, guys, where was Nigel? I was like, I was like, what happened? Like, where was I like Nigel on Collision because he could talk shit, but at least he also talks about the wrestling. And I love Nigel. I really, really do. But yeah, this week on commentary was weird. I can't believe I'm
whew,
saying this, and I know he wanted to do it for the whole show, but I actually when like what was it? I forgot which Ring of Honor pay-per-view it was, but when Moxley was commentary for like 2.5 matches, I was like, yo, that's actually kind of great. I would love to see more wrestlers like be on commentary who can do commentary. Kevin Knight tried. He did. And I didn't hate Kevin Knight during the next match we're going to talk about. But John Moxley on commentary was really great with Ian and Caprice. Like,
yeah, John's great, anyways. But like, John's too funny because like he's too quick. So like he sort of takes you out of the match for a minute, because like you're laughing about the about the quip that he just did. Like,
but oh my gosh, it was so good. I think it just depends on who he's with because, like I said, Ian and Caprice do a really good job of acknowledging it. But I still think Ian and Caprice in the whole AEW commentary universe, they're still my favorite. I think the hands down, those two are probably my favorite in the AEW Ring of Honor universe commentary team.
yeah, the same. I feel the same. Like, I understand with Mister Riccaboni's outside life, you know. So like, I understand why they probably can't be doing that on a regular basis. Is what I mean. But I completely agree. They're a perfect announced team. They're really starting to get to this like great like this might be a little bit an older reference, but it's very uh Monsoon and Heenan, right? Like
Hell yeah.
that kind of level, they're always picking at each other. I love it.
It is great. So, like I said, Kevin Knight beats AR Fox. Knight gets on commentary. Don Callis family is in action, which finally it's beautiful to see Echiseto back on my AEW television screen. I was like, visa issues have been fixed. We are working on it. We are almost there. We are just still working on Beast Mortos and El Clone. So hopefully we'll get those guys back relatively soon. But this is a tune-up match. Don Callis family wins. Um, it is insane because then I don't like, okay, let me just show this picture, right? So Don Callis family goes on a rampage, beating up the talent. And then Benny, I swear to the Marvel gods, we had a whole entire Avengers Assemble moment because leading the charge, we had Speedball Mike Bailey. We had the Conglomeration Boys. We had the Rascals. I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like I'm kind of here for this Avengers team up of like all your, well, for all intents and purposes, outside of the Conglomeration Boys, you have a bunch of high flyers and cruiserweights in the Rascals and Speedball in this crew, and then Orange is great, Roddy is great, Kyle is great, and they all have a stare down with Don Callis family, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I swear to God, Tony Khan, if you don't give me a chaotic AF, probably gonna be a car crash, but I want to see it like 10 on 10 match. Let's do it. I was like, yo, what is happening?
Yes, sign me up for that. Because Speedball needs to be on that card, and he doesn't have a match yet. You know, like at least he doesn't have to be. But like it'd just be nice for him. You know, because Speedball has sort of like been like lost in the shuffle of all of this. You know, which I hate to see because I love Speedball. They rule.
Agreed. It's really interesting what we're doing with Speedball at the moment. Like, honestly, I'm just like, he's kind of just floating around on his vlog. You know, he mentioned that, you know, he's trying to get on the redemption card because it's in Canada, so we're gonna be interested. But yeah, we had this whole Avengers moment happen, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I need this, Tony. Please don't let it be a one-time thing and there's no follow-up, because I want to see a follow-up. But let's keep going because we gotta keep talking, because we also still got redemption predictions to talk about. But I don't know who's writing these scripts, but please keep writing them, because this back and forth between the Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs is just pure gold. And this is probably, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is probably one of my highlights of Collision this week. I also love it that you have the juxtaposition of Clark Connors in his shirt and then David Finlay in a suit. And I'm just like, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is probably my favorite thing this week.
Hey man, don't be ashamed. You like what you like, you know. And like, I really like the juxtaposition of like them just being like super serious, while the Bang Bang Gang is just out here just being absolutely ridiculous.
This whole feud is stupid, but I love it.
It's so dumb, but I'm so here for it. Also, the Death Riders are here.
It's like, what is happening? Oh my gosh, I cannot. This is gonna be insane. Like, yeah, this is so much fun. I mean, tomorrow night we're getting Clark and Jay White, so this should be really fun. I'm excited to finally see Jay back into the ring. So this is gonna be a good one. This is stupid, but I love it. It's great. Okay. I applied what I said on Dynamite to here right here. Is don't take it personally. I got chills. I was like, ooh, damn. I love this. This is so good stuff, man. It doesn't need, again, you don't need to be over the top. You know, Will Ospreay addressing what I'm assuming is a friend based on the way they built this up. Adam Brooks and Ospreay have known each other for quite some time, but I love it. He doesn't downplay he doesn't downplay Adam Brooks. He gives him his kudos, but that very cold ending line, don't take it personally. I'm like, oh shit, we about to see some things. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, whatever that was in that Kenny Omega segment with a little bit of comedy. I'll just be over here. That little bit, I love that. But whoever that person is completely gone here. His hair's slicked back. He's talking real low. He's talking almost like Moxley, right? Like, and uh, uh even Moxley gets in on it. Like after Will gets done with what he's saying, they sort of like stagger. the promos, and I'm really digging that, man. Like this is fantastic. It's all good stuff.
It truly is. And you know what? When you take this and you put it into what we got from this particular match, Adam Brooks, nice to see you once again on my AEW television. He's been popping up in a couple other places. Him and Mustafa Ali had a really fun match in TNA not too long ago, so that was pretty good. This is a really fun match. I do appreciate, because I was a little afraid that they were going to have Osprey just decimate Brooks, but I do appreciate that they gave it some time. Hot damn, that ending was brutal. Oh my god, Osprey just bam. I was like, oh yes, villain era unlocked. Here for it. It's ooh, that was a brutal finish, and I loved it.
Yeah, I thought Adam Brooks did a really good job here, like especially coming out cold because like that crowd had no idea who this person was, and his shine was a little bit wonky, but they got him back by the end, and uh, Osprey. I love that they did a mirror to the Mad Kurt spot in Red Pro a couple years ago, where like everybody thought that Osprey actually went off script, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, but anyways, this is a really good match. I really liked it. Um, Adam Brooks, he's all right. He's good. He did a solid job.
He did really well for the job that was needed of him, which was to sell for Osprey, especially that ending. So good job. And like these two are friends outside of this. They're like, yeah, we could do this. It's not that hard. But yeah, brutal ending. Osprey continues to show that vicious streak. Love it. Congratulations to you, Athena, for being the longest champion in any of the history here of professional wrestling here in North America. She is now the longest reigning singles champion, whether it be man or woman. And she has beaten Roman Reigns' record. And I believe she's also beaten San Martino's record, too. That is the positive. Don't know why this match was here, girl. Love you down. But, okay. And I feel so bad because this could be applied to the next one too. We're going to talk about.
This was fun. I like this match actually. Like the match is never bad, right? When
Right.
it's Athena, right? Like
Just the storytelling in the book, is like, why?
yeah, it made no sense because why is she here, right? Like uh, this ain't ROH. Did I did was there a time slip somehow? Like like
We crossed the streams and she's here.
you
Put her
cross the
back.
streets and now it's ROH. Like
Mm.
I know the color scheme is the same, but like come on, man. Like I digress. Like it was fine. I think Abra Everett did a great job in this
Mm-hmm.
match, and she's a fantastic little standout on the. I don't know why I call her little. She's a fantastic standout on the independents up here in the
Mm-hmm.
Northeast, and it was good to see her. She was also the one that, as I said earlier, was with Andrade taking the
Yep.
picture earlier. But what are we doing? That's all.
Well, I mean, we can take that and we can copy and paste it for the next thing too, because love them down. Match was fun. They are great. Why?
Yeesh. Yeah. Like, you know what? Actually, I like this match. Like, uh, again, like two Northeast standouts uh, against them, and this was a fine match. I thought there's nothing egregious here. It was it was like over in like 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then like to be honest with you, they're doing far too much with the Brawling Birds. I think, like, just put them in the ring, give them mic time afterwards. It's not that hard, dude. It's really not that hard. It's not that difficult. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel.
Gosh, you guys.
Anyways, but yeah, so let's keep going. This match was great.
This was a cute little love fest for a heel. Um,
I love that description. It's a cute little love fest for a heel. But it's true though, because we're in Boston. This is Tommaso's hometown, so they was on this man. They loved him. I just love Myron, man. Myron is just so great. Like I will always say that anytime he's on my screen. I love Myron.
Yeah, Myron was also here on this one. In this one, you know.
I love you, Myron.
This was very much a tune-up for Ciampa. I like the segment with Paul White at the
end.
That
shit was hilarious, and I don't think they intended it to be, but that shit was hilarious to me. Well, because Tommaso does, I think I might be wrong, but I feel like Tommaso might be a secret theater kid because, like, there's just certain things as a performer that you pick up on. Like, when he got on top of the chair to meet the height of Paul White, I cracked up. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh, Ciampa just gets it. But the important thing to kind of come, so Ciampa wins. Fun match between him and Myron. Face off with Paul White because Paul White is besties with Jericho, and Ciampa gives Paul White a message for White to give to Jericho, which ultimately is that for the Sunday, the match between, because I honestly forgot this was happening until I was reminded, the Painmaker Chris Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa is now a no holds barred match, and I was just like, oh boy, we're gonna see how that turns. Also, interesting that this is the only like different color coded title card match card for Redemption. Everything else is the same, like blue and white and turquoise. This is the only match that has a different color. I'm like, okay. It is what it is. It's fine. I'm like, it's not for a title. You could have this at the beginning of the show. We'll be okay with it. Like, I have no qualms with this. It's not for me, but I'm not going to poo-poo all over it either.
Yeah, it's the same. Same here. Like, it's not for me. And I'm glad that Jericho found his hat.
Funny enough, I've never seen a Painmaker match. So I've been aware of the Painmaker Chris Jericho, but I've never seen this iteration because I kind of was late to the AEW party. But anywho,
well, you see the hat and the makeup.
Yes, I have seen it before. I just never seen that iteration of Jericho wrestle in the ring.
no, here's it. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting to. See the hat and the makeup. That's it.
Got it. The more you know. This is like, Benny ruined it for. No, just kidding. Honestly, it's Jericho, so I'm like, you're absolutely right. It's just hat and makeup. You are absolutely
just
right.
Just hat and makeup. That
I believe
that is just it.
It's not like the Demon Finn Balor where he becomes uberly aggressive.
Yeah.
Anywho, oh my goodness. So let's keep going. Andrade is having an interview and Mark Davis chokes him out. I'm like, baller. Love this. Moving on.
Yeah. I also noticed in this segment that Davis has been working out. Good on you, bud. Looking good.
He has. The straightest bear we know in professional wrestling.
That we know of.
That we know of. Who knows? Mark Davis might get freaky. Hey, we don't judge in this household. Also, I wouldn't be against it. Mark Davis, call me. We actually get a promo from Mercedes Moné, and I was just like, where was this on Dynamite? But I digress. Sorry, I looked at you, Betty, with the eye roll and the head bobs. I can't help it. I was like, me, I feel that.
What was this? What was the point of this? Like,
I was
whoever
like,
wins, I'm going to fight.
I was just like,
Yeah, we
man,
know.
we really
We
put her in the
know.
corner because Willow was supposed to be in Japan, but her flight got canceled, so she couldn't make it to
Oh,
TJPW, and I was so upset. And then, of course, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but Tekla and Triangle of Madness were off in Stardom, and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. But I felt so bad for Willow that her flight got canceled. I'm like, damn, I wanted to see her in TJPW. Maybe next time. But yeah,
yeah.
Mercedes was like, girl, love you. This was not it, sis. This was not it.
What? I'm sorry for clapping, but like, it's funny. Like when actually Mercedes had mentioned Willow being in Japan, like in this promo, right? And like it had come out that day that
Mm-hmm.
Willow was not going to make it to Japan.
Right.
So at some point during the day, when she had gotten her script, somebody had not relayed the message that Willow is not in Japan. Like,
Alert, alert.
continuity.
And it's not because she missed her flight, it's because her flight got canceled. That was
Yeah. Right.
it's crazy. But I'm like, all right, girl, I know we gotta do we're building up to Wembley, but like this was not necessarily the brightest moments, but hey, it's okay.
Yeah. I
Not
mean, I'm not.
everything sticks.
I didn't hate it because it's Mercedes. So like, what are you gonna do?
That's true.
You know?
Very true. Anyways, we keep him pushing. Oh my god, this match. This is probably my favorite collision match this week. Well, yeah, this is my favorite collision match of the episode. And dare I say, I think this is probably my favorite match this week, period. Period. And not to steal from you, Ben, not to steal from you, Benny, but I agreed with what you posted on the social media. You don't need like over the topness when it comes to this. You just need good intensity, good chemistry, and these two have it. Loved it. Ah,
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel. Like, the thing is, like, this match was again like maybe like less than 10 minutes, but it was perfect. They told you it was a fight, and we even got a variation of the 21 plex. So I cannot be angry about this. This is also my favorite match of the week.
again, Bandito is just the perfect baby face. Adam Priest is really good too. And I love him in ROH and when he pops up on AEW television too. So good. I have no notes. I have nothing else to say. Just yes, match of the week for me across AEW television. Loved it. Moving on.
One thing I love about that Adam Priest guy too is that like
Right.
he he's a great like a meat and potatoes type of wrestler when he's a face,
Mm,
right? But like when he's a heel, it takes every single shortcut. So like it's like the polar opposite. He's a fantastic wrestler. Love him.
he really is. Speaking of fantastic wrestling, before I talk about the promo itself, I want to say congratulations to the Triangle of Madness, who are now the new Goddess of Stardom champions. So Tekla, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue are the Goddess of Stardom champions. So that is the trios championships in Stardom. Um, the social media stuff has been great from everyone involved in all of this too. And Starlight Kid still be beefing with Tekla. So I'm looking forward to if we're gonna get that rematch at some point. I actually would love to see that be at Stardom's Dream Queendom at the end of the year, which would be really fun. But I'm really happy, and I'm really happy to see Julia get championship gold again. It's been far too long since she's gotten to hold a championship of any capacity, and I'm so happy for her. I
This
love.
is actually probably Sky Blue's first title as well.
Yes, it is
And it's
too.
not even in AEW.
Mm-mm.
How about them apples?
It's
But
crazy.
either way, congratulations. Well deserved. And best of luck in the 5-star Grand Prix.
Yes, Julia. So, of course, B. Priestley could no longer participate due to injury. So, Julia is going to be competing in the 5-star Grand Prix, which I'm so excited to see that for her. Get those reps in for the tournament. It's going to be a good time. But the promo itself, because of everything that happened at Beach Break, Julia and Sky are challenging Divine Dominion for those AEW Women's Tag Team titles tomorrow night in a no DQ street fight match. So I'm like, oh, I love it when Julia and Sky get involved in a no DQ street fight because them girls are probably going to bleed and it will be glorious thumbnails. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's gonna rule.
I love that for them. This is going to be a fun match tomorrow for sure. But we finally close out the evening of Collision with our main event for the TBS Championship. Hikaru Shida, Take No Shida, taking on the challenger and Miss Queen Aminata. First and foremost, that white and black gear, Queen Aminata, serve 8 down. Like, yes, ma'am. That outfit was everything.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I love Aminata, and like I'm starting to get the feeling that like Aminata is probably too good of a hand for them to do anything with, because she puts on great matches and makes everybody look great. So.
I do want to see her get a championship at some point. It doesn't need to be crazy, but I want to see her win a championship. Now, her and Cheetah just put on a really great match. This match was actually really good too, and this was probably my second favorite match of AEW this week, period. This was a really fun match. Cheetah wins by doing what heel Cheetah does best, and the roll up, which was fun. But no, honestly, those headbutts by Aminata, man, ooh, they look devastating as all hell. And I'm just like, girl, that thing is a registered weapon. Like, honestly. But Sheeta wins here. Again, this was a really fun match. Now, this is another conversation where I have to tell the IWC that they need to calm down because Sheeta beats up Aminata after the match. Maya World comes out with the save, and then Tony Khan announces the next day that Maya World will be facing Sheeta for the TBS Championship. Now, I am of two minds of this, and I want to get that out before I, put belt's ass on the IWC again, too. Do I feel that Maya World's getting a lot of opportunities really quickly? Yes. Am I mad about it? I had to reflect because on the one hand, I was like, damn, she's getting a lot of opportunities. But at the same time, I'm like, I understand where people are coming from because there's other women on this roster who could have gotten this opportunity. But to be completely honest, I'm like, listen, I am a person that believes that, you can be, as long as you're booked and blessed, like that is all that matters in this business, honestly. Now, do I wish that we got another person instead of Maya Fershida to face at Redemption? Probably, but honestly, why not? I feel like even though she was gassed and there were some things that she can work on, I do think that Maya really showed up and showed out at Forbidden Door against Mercedes. So I don't think she's going to win. And we kind of run into the same thing with the Bandito problem. But honestly, give her these reps because if she is going to be the person to take that title from Athena, why not? I'm not mad at this, and I need the IWC to calm down too. Also, what I applied to Kevin Knight is what I apply here. Y'all are hating. Is it because she black? Just putting it out there, but that's just me. I'm not mad at this though. I think the conclusion is I'm not mad at this match. I'm actually looking forward to it. Should be fun.
Well, you just tied my hands, but
Listen, if you disagree with me, that's okay. Just like we are here to have a conversation, and I respect your opinion nonetheless.
Yeah, because this has nothing to do with race. I just think that I don't think she's ready for this moment. Because much like Carly Cameron, where like she was doing like 10 punches in the corner and people were like, put the belt on her.
And we love Harley too, so
I love Harley too, but like she wasn't ready. like those tag title matches were awful. Like Divine Dominion aren't doing nothing, but at least the matches are better with the tag titles. You know, poor Willow had to carry that whole entire division,
Mm,
and two of them actually. But I
mm.
digress. You know, I like Maya. I think she's coming along really well. I just don't know if she's ready for the moment right
No,
now.
and I agree with you too. Like I said, I'm not mad at this match, but I also fear that Tony is pushing her too far, and I don't want her to receive a lot of backlash for. She's only been wrestling for 3 years, and I think she has a crazy amount of potential. But I do agree with you that I just don't want Tony to continue to push her and then put her at a detriment for like these bigger moments, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not mad at this match, but I am worried that if she continues to be booked on these pay-per-views, and I don't think putting in the work is the correct term I want to use, but she needs to refine her skill set and she needs to develop it a little bit more too. Because I think there's a lot of potential. But this is also this is the first pay-per-view ever. So I'm like, I just don't want her to get oversaturated and then the fandom turns on her because that would be devastating. And me and you, throughout the history of professional wrestling, have seen that happen way too many times than we like to count too. So,
Big time. And unfortunately, like if there is the case that like if she's not ready for the moment, and you put her in that spot, whose fault is that? It's not going to be. It's not going to be the bookers. That's going to be that is going to follow that person for the rest of their career. You know, and that happens to a lot of people throughout throughout history. And
mhm.
I think she's fantastic. And I think yeah, she just needs more seasoning, like on television or ROH or whatever that god awful ROH thing is. You know, like the wrestlers uh, talking to themselves as people reach for their phones. That is the ROH tapings in Jacksonville. Oh,
I
and
don't know if I want to. I know. I don't know if I want to say this because this is going to sound really bad. But there's a wrestling content creator that I follow who gives like doesn't get the spoilers, but because of where he lives, he gets to go to the Ring of Honor tapings at the TV studio out there that they be doing, right? And sit there for like 5 whole hours for all those tapings. Apparently, he and I don't think he did this as a malicious thing. I just found it funny, but I was just like, apparently you could DoorDash food and you can get it delivered during the tapings too. I'm just like, that's insane to me. I was just like, that is crazy. I think that's funny.
what?
Yeah. So apparently in this
People
recent taping,
ordered DoorDash as MXM are in the ring. Oh my god, that's amazing! That is absolutely amazing.
but this is
Makes
what
it
I'm
so much
saying.
better. They're like there's like a match going on, and there's like three people going like, "So you want to get some sushi or you wanna...
I only bring this up because he put it on Twitter. He's just like, these are long tapings and I do get hungry. I ordered food from this place and I'm mad because they didn't provide me any utensils. But honestly, and
By
I
the
don't
way, I
also
don't blame them. It's a long day. Like,
Tony Khan, you should provide food. Like I know there's dietary restrictions and all that stuff and everything, but I was just like, get some catering for the people that are there, like, or at least like give them a sandwich or something, because that's a long day. Or I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of cleanup, but and it depends on the studio, but allow people to bring in food. Like bring in food. I was just like, it's a long day. We gotta feed some folks out here.
it's like like somebody shooting somebody off, and like all you hear is just like Tupperware.
Have a whole
Sorry, I'm
entire thing
losing it.
that's
That's
Tupperware.
way
It
too
is great.
fun.
It is fantastic. But yeah,
That is our AEW like weekly coverage. And we're like we're almost done. We got one more thing we got to do. So let's just jump into it. So let me get this ready. Here we go. I have to say, first and foremost, I really do like the color scheme for Redemption. I think it's like a good, use of the different shades of blue and white and silver. It is fantastic. But y'all know what time it is. It is time for our AEW predictions, as we are now with another pay-per-view coming up this weekend on Sunday, which is crazy to say because it felt like yesterday we were just doing this for Forbidden Door. But it is AEW redemption time. So we are going to be making our predictions. This is the third pay-per-view in our 2026 prediction season. So we are at episode 3 for AEW Redemption. At the time of this recording on Tuesday, July 21st, we have 8 matches scheduled for Redemption. So we are going to go through our card. We're going to make our predictions and talk about everything, and then we'll go from there. So far, we don't have a 0 hour, but that is probably going to change as the week goes on. But for right now, let's talk about everything. So let's start off. These matches are in no particular order. I just put them in the order from no non-title matches to title matches, going in order from like mid-card to main title scene. And let's get into it. Now, this is the one match where I was like, is it going to be fun? Yes. Am I trying to figure out why we're doing this? Kind of. But in a tag team match, we have the Death Riders, Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley taking on the Young Bucks. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, this should be an entertaining match, but why? I was like, this match came out of nowhere for me. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that made no sense. It made no sense, right? But like, but there is 2 more episodes until until the pay per view, so they may clear this up, you know. But I'm gonna have to go with the Young Bucks on this one.
I'm going to go with the Bucks too, because it seems that they're building them as the next challengers to Cage and Cope's titles. So I feel like they need to win here. Now, no, this is not for points, but just because I'm a gremlin for chaos. Who do you think takes the pin here? I think Moxley takes the pin. Crazy enough.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think of. Maybe it's like a rare count-out situation.
Could be. I could also see that too. But I agree with you. I have the Bucks here, especially because if they're building them to be the next challengers for Cage and Cope, a pay-per-view win here would definitely put them in a good pole position to be the next challengers. But moving on to our next match, we have our no-holds-barred match between the Painmaker Chris Jericho and Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa. As much as it pains me to say this, because Tommaso Ciampa won at Beach Break, I'm going to give it to the Painmaker Chris Jericho. We're probably going to get one more between the two of them as the tiebreaker. So I'm going to give it to Painmaker for this one. And it hurts my soul to say that, but I'm going to go with Painmaker.
I feel bad for the janitors at the arena, because this is going to be a bathroom break match. So
literally, they'd be taking the piss.
Quite literally, like, you know, I'm gonna have to go with Painmaker because, like, for whatever reason, they got to give him his win back, you know. And I just realized this, like, as I was like running down the card on the Google Doc, that was like, the Painmaker's the good guy in this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I can't believe it, and it hurts my soul. But I want points here, so I'm gonna go with Painmaker. But I'm rooting for Ciampa here, and that's crazy because he's the heel.
Makes no sense.
2026 wrestling, man, it's crazy out here. Alrighty, so moving on though. Now we're getting into all the championship matches. So the rest of these are championship matches, and we're going to start off with our AEW Tag Team Championships. So Cage and Cope defending the titles against the Death Riders, but in the form of Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. Now, chaos will be hilarious, but because we're in Canada, I think all the Canadians are probably going to retain their championships. So I am going to go with Cage and Cope here because I do think that they are set up to lose these titles at Wembley. I would love to see Pac and Claudio win the titles, but I'm going to go with Cage and Cope here to retain the championships. What about you, Benny? Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Cope and Cage because it's such a random match that like there's no way that Pac and Claudio are taking those belts.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Plus, I think after Redemption, we're like 2 weeks out. Pac is going to be busy in Mexico with the Grand Prix coming up shortly, and I believe Claudio is also part of that too. We'll talk about the full list off air because Team World and Team Mexico is pretty stacked. But I agree. I think Cage and Cope are being set up to lose the titles at Wembley, but should be fun. Yeah, that's all I got for this one.
I think it'll be a good match because like I think the idea here is that like Pac and Claudio will probably give Cope and Cage their best match yet into Wembley, you know?
Right. Oh my goodness. I agree with you. This should be a fun match regardless. Now, this match though, this match got potential banger written all over it. Especially because of the amazing work both of them are doing. For the AEW National Championship, Mark Davis will be defending the title against Andrade El Idolo. So, of course, Andrade won the right to this match by defeating Jake Doyle this past week on Dynamite to face Mark Davis. This one's tough because I can make arguments for both. However, because the Don Callis family is still a pain in Andrade's side for all intents and purposes, I'm actually going to go with Mark Davis to retain here. I don't think that Andrade is going to win here, but I do think it's going to set up for Andrade to go full scorched earth and to guerrillas tactics the Don Callis family. So, but man, I would love to see Andrade hold some championship gold. Not even going to lie, but I'm going to go with Mark Davis here. I don't think Mark is losing this title yet, but I also think this is a setup for Andrade to go full scorched earth. But I'm gonna go with Davis here.
Cool. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna go with Andrade because he has the Dynamite Diamond ring.
That is also very true.
And he's probably the hotter hand right now. And because like, you know, like Davis is there, but like, you know, well, what is he really doing? You know?
That's true.
But like wildly fantasy booking here. I have I don't know if this is gonna happen. I don't even know if I want this to happen, right? But like, what if formerly known as Santos Escobar, right? Shows up to help Andrade fend off the Don Callis family.
Oh my god! If Santos shows up, I would lose my absolute mind.
Right? And I know that, like, you know, they're buddies at least, you know, so why not, right? And I know he's a hell of a worker. I've seen him.
Yeah.
I've seen him before WWE, so he's a great little guy. Again, I did that again. He's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. So
he is a great little. You could say he's a great little guy because he is very short. And you could say it because I'm tiny as well. But honestly, this match can go either way, but I would be happy either way, to be completely honest. But I can also see your point for Andrade. But the real winner of this match is me because both of them are hot. Anyways, moving on. So we already talked about the moment for Maya, all this and that. This one's probably one of the easier ones to pick. I got Shida retaining here. I will be shocked if Maya wins, but I think we still got lots to go with Sheeta, and I want to see Sheeta hold this title for for a little bit. So I'm gonna go with Sheeta here. So yeah, that's all I have for my reason. It's just like Sheeta.
Yeah, same. Moving on.
Easy and yeah, moving on. Oh my God, Tony Khan, you're gonna break my heart, man. Like, why do you do this to me? Because my head, I'm gonna pick Kyle Fletcher, but my heart wants Bandito, and you're making me pick against my heart, and I'm mad at you, Coney. Antonio Khan, we got words and we got squabble, but this match is gonna bang. AEW International Championship. Oh my God, I want Bandito to win so hard, but I'm picking Kyle Fletcher because I still think that we're getting that triple threat at Wembley between Kyle, Okada, and Takeshita. But I want my boy Bandito to win, man. Like, get this man a win. Anyways, I'm done crying. I got Fletcher.
Yeah. I'm of two minds on this one. My brain says that Fletcher retains. My heart wants Bandito to take the title off him because Fletcher's already looking towards the future, and like he's already got like Okada, he's got Takeshita like already lined up. Like if somebody comes up from behind him, and then like Bandito, and just takes all away from him, then you get some really great story elements there. I think, like a crash out for Fletcher.
I can see that. Man, I just want Bandito to win. Like I am okay with losing a point if Bandito wins because my heart will be happy. But we'll see what happens. Now, moving into our two main titles. First, the AEW Women's World Championship, Tekla versus Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale got this opportunity by winning the Casino Gauntlet match at Beach Break after returning from injury in quite a good fast amount of time, which was nice to see. Oh my God, this one's really hard. This one's really, really tough. Whereas Kyle Fletcher and Bandito was my head versus my heart, this one's really tough for me because this really can go 50-50. And the implications for either one of them winning, because unless we get a crazy thing happening, one of these two will be the opponent for Mercedes at Wembley. And I love both of them. Willow is always Willow's been my favorite since her introduction into this company, and she is just the light that keeps on giving. Tekla has really come into her own and to find herself and has been an awesome heel champion since winning the title. This is really tough for me. I went back and forth with this as I made this morning, and I'm still trying to figure out, but I ultimately think, and I wish it wasn't at the expense of her opponent, because I think that in a perfect world, these two would go on to do amazing things for Wembley. I'm gonna throw out the wild pick here. I have Willow winning and becoming new AEW Women's Champion here for this one. I know that's a long shot, but I'm gonna go with Willow, man. It hurts. I love Tekla, I really do, but I already went against Bandito, so I gotta go with Willow with my heart with this one. I love her to death, and I don't care if I lose the point. I don't want to bet against Willow. I love her too much, but this one really is 50-50. But I'm gonna go with Willow to become new AEW Women's World Champion.
Same. We're always wondering, when is it going to be Willow's time? Right? I think you give her the win here, and then she perhaps wins at Wembley to start the crash out for Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is something we still need to get back to. it's not a story you can just drop, Tony.
That Owen Hart
You've been
Championship
teasing it
is
the whole time.
Yep. Yep, that Owen Hart Championship is the last title that Mercedes has, and she has yet to get a win over Willow. Because again, Willow beat her for the TBS Championship back in January. So let's keep it going, man. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, Willow's seems to be Mercedes' kryptonite. Never forget that she also beat her for the NJPW Strong title on during its debut. So she's always sort of had her number, which is great because Mercedes like Willow pretty much is like just really great head, man. Like she like has amazing matches with everybody, like Athena, Mercedes. Like she's on another level. Just hasn't ascended for whatever reason.
I think, yeah, Tekla has had an amazing reign, and I think she will be fine, especially since it seems we might be setting up for her to do in the Triangle of Madness to still be fighting with Okada-san in Stardom, which is okay with me. And so, and with them being the Goddess of Stardom champions, I think that will also be okay with her. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. And finally, last but certainly not least, what I'm pretty sure is main eventing Redemption. And I'm really excited for this match because I think it's going to be great. But I'm really excited to see Kevin Knight in this position. But Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Championship against Kevin Knight. I do think this match is going to be a big test for Kevin. I think he's going to show up and show out. And again, I think Kenny's going to do a really good job of putting over Kevin. And these two are going to have an incredible match. Another easy one, I have Kenny retaining the championship, but this match is going to be really fun. I am looking forward to it wholeheartedly on Sunday.
Yeah, same. This is just an easy win for Omega on its way to. I don't mean like an easy win for him. It's going to be a hard battle, right? But like,
it's going to battle test him and prepare him for Wembley and Osprey.
Yeah, and we have like as great as that match was with Max, right? We need we need a match to solidify that the cleaner is back, the best bout machine is back, and who's honestly one of the best in ring performers that AEW has right now, and that's saying a lot. Is Kevin Knight. And he also has connection with the audience. So like they're actually booing him, like which is something they're not doing with Fletcher. You know?
I think it was perfect, especially. Well, I think it worked perfectly too, and we talked a little bit about it during our Double or Nothing post show, where being the person to attack Darby, who I would say is a fan favorite, and the AEW universe loves Darbs. Like perfect way to get heat to become the heel. But yeah, so and that's it for our redemptions prediction. Now, as of right now, we still have a Dynamite and a Collision leading into Redemption this Sunday. So we don't know what else will be added to the card. But all I know is that next Tuesday, Benny and I will be here to do the post show for Redemption. I'm looking forward to it. And then all roads lead to Wembley. So All In's going to be really fun. Of course, over this past week, we got a bunch of announcements. Of course, we got All Out coming in Chicago from September. Don't know yet if Wrestle Dream is coming back in October and where, but they did announce that Full Gear is going to be happening Saturday, November 14th in Phoenix, Arizona. So that's going to be fun. And so, yeah, so I'm excited to see we're slowly filling up the rest of the 2026 pay-per-view calendar year for AEW. We're just waiting to see when and where Wrestle Dream and World's End is going to end up. So that's going to be fun. But that's going to be it for us here at the All Elite Ensemble. Like I said, we will be back next Tuesday and we'll be doing a post show for Redemption. So I appreciate Betty for being here. This is a long show and we're going to talk more afterwards because I get to hang out with him because he's a great person. But we got back to our regular scheduled programming now that I'm back from, camping and vacation. So tomorrow night is NXT and CMLL. And then on Friday is TNA, and yeah, some good stuff is happening, and we are excited. It's gonna be a good time. But from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I'll see you tomorrow for our double packed episodes of NXT and CMLL. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.